The duck is back. The duck is back. Quackity quack. Just, oh God, this uneven floor does my head in. After quite a few headshots, I should say. Anyway, such is life. I'm going to do something different. I'm just going to do one more video on those lifters and put the covers on. May be interesting, may not. First thing I'm going to do is, after every time we've adjusted lifters, what we do is we turn the back wheel, and I'm sort of fighting the rain, but I've already done this. But you just turn the back wheel and make, so to be clear, when you're doing this, the bike is always in top gear, because the gears are reversed, because the drive is going from this end, right? So trust, just without getting too technical, put it in 5th gear or a high, you know, like when it's 6 speed, you probably only need to put it in 5th gear. But on these bikes, put them in 5th gear, and then it just makes it easy to turning over, and I think it states that in the manuals anyway. And then you just turn it over, and what you're trying to do, so like on this bike, what I'm doing is 2 things. One, the oil is actually going through the oil pump and priming it, and it's filling the system with the engine, oil through the engine, and we're checking that there's no binding or valve to piston contact or anything like that, or any other horrible noises. And that's all right. That's me mates' dogs who go past on the ute, and they got this little competition between the dogs who can bark. Yeah, dogs. So anyway, what I was saying was that we're just listening and feeling for really any lockup or anything like that would suggest that we may have done something wrong, and it's just not something you take for granted. And I've done it a few times, and I've turned it over. Sounds really good. I've got you up quite high because I thought you might be interested, for those that haven't seen this before. It's not, I'm just going to spin you around, and then, whoa, nearly fell out of the holder. And then you can see, maybe, if I put it a bit closer. No, it's not going to work, Duck. You got vertigo yet? Okay, hopefully now when I turn it over, you should be able to see the valves go in and out and up and down and all the rest of it. Okay. And you can see how these are the rockers, right? And you can see how they transfer the push coming up from the push rod into pushing the valve down on the other side. And you can see it's got a fair bit of travel in those. Right, so I'm going to drop you down and we're going to go, we'll chuck in, you can see it's raining, so hopefully you'll be able to hear me. I just speak a bit louder. I don't know if I can go back a bit. You're not going to see the left side, but you'll see the right hopefully when I do that. But basically with a little bit of rubber grease, and I mean a little bit of rubber grease, you can use normal grease too. These rubber grease is specially designed for O-rings and rubbers when you've got them in a tight situation like that. Okay, little bit of rubber grease around there, and then round the bottom. This is the way I do it, right? You can have a little bit of on there. It's not to the point where it's gonna cause any damage to the engine. A little bit of rubber grease in there will just, if it does end up in there, just sort of washes off and mixes in with oil. Right, smear a bit on there, right, and you can see that one's already up in there. And then this one's the same. So I can, you'd be amazed how much that helps, right? Now what you do is you get the top one in first. There we go. No, making me a liar. Always a way when you're trying to show people stuff. It doesn't do it. There we go. She's popped up in there. That one's already popped in. Okay, so what I normally do is I try to do the most awkwardest one first, right, which is the inside. And since I've already started that one, I'll just do it now and then wipe the excess rubber grease off my hands. And then it's just a simple case lining up the bottom. We hold that one up, stop it coming back down, and it's slippery. You gotta stack your tongue and your left side of your cheek, right? Because if you don't, it's not gonna happen. Not quite lined up. It's just it's not. Jesus, I don't know why that's so tight. See if I can. There she goes. And then the top come out. Isn't that great? See if I can push that. course, this is not really what I wanted to show you. You see these little, how that little hand on the end of the screwdriver is quite handy now. So let's see if this will just... It's quite hard to do with the camera is right where I want to be. Oh God. You want someone will come on now and go, oh, I've got a special blah 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 for doing those. Special Harley S&S tool, blah blah blah. Right. Okay, get it to that point. I was going to do all of them, but I'm thinking not now because the camera's right in the road. Okay. Then it's a simple case of putting this in there like so. And what they say is you just get in there and pull that down with your fingers, right? But I think a lot of the time they're talking about when the carburetor and everything is removed. So I'm going to show you, as you would know, my special tool. And this is a piece of, what is it? Looks like it's made out of a bit of 2mm flat bar, something like that. And basically all that does is go in here like this, right, over the top of that, and then it's just a simple case of lifting this up and pushing that in, right? And once you've got that in, that comes out. Okay? You like that? Oh God. I'll do you one more on this since it's... So another good thing, you know, don't wipe the oil off here either. Leave the oil on there, right? Because that stops it from rusting when it's together, or stops the corrosion, right? Okay. Just make sure it's up in there. Oh yeah, see. A little hand. You can see how these little things now, how I go on about them, how I really, this is an old screwdriver I've bent. I think I've showed you it before. Okay, so they're back in there, and then same with these. Make sure if there's oil in here, it's good. All you want to do is wipe the dust out. Do not remove the oil or grease. Right? Same with here. I know I've already said it, but same thing again, you know. It's when that'll leave a nice oil cover over there, and then that stops it corroding. And then when it comes to pull that bike apart, it's a lot easier, and there's no corrosion. Okay, I'll do this again. Push that up there. Slide this in. Actually, I'll get a measurement for that. So this is just 2mm plate, right? and then obviously the width of this is just the width of this aluminium thing, see, cover. Right, that in the top, that up there, same thing again, see, put your thumb in there, lever it down and slide it in, pull that out. Okay. And you've missed that now because I banged the camera. Jesus. Okay. I'll do it. I'll do it one more time, right? So you can see how I do it. Like I say, quite hard to do when on camera. So I'm not sure now whether you've even missed the other one, right? So this goes up into there. You push it up into the top first. Slot goes down. Okay. Holding that, yeah, see, it just went up when I pushed it up in there. Okay, then you slide this in there like so. Pull. It's just a simple lever action which brings it down straight. That pops in, that pulls out. Okay, I made this thing. Must be 20 years ago now, okay? Because it just, yeah. Right. I was meant to say that those last two videos I done last night, the rain's coming in and it's fighting me now, so all I want to say is if you guys got any questions or answers, or you want me to show you how to do something, I'm quite happy to. I'll put it on the list, and then when that job comes around I can try and show you. Right, I hope you enjoyed this, and whatever you do, don't like this video. Alright, have a good one. Duck is out.